salmon night, but you can't just cook salmon, so I'm going to give you like a easy dinner done in like 10 minutes. So first thing we do is we go over to the stove and we set it for 490 degrees, okay? You want a hot oven. 500 will do, 490, that's good. Then we come over here, and what I have, I have a salmon spice, which you have. I have the sprayer with olive oil, pepper. This is a salt pig, they call it. It's a pig because you can grab it, and I know how much I have. I have some quinoa here, some vegetable broth, some frozen vegetables, Thai style, but you can have whatever you like. 1 cup, 2 cups, you need some wine, and a frying cup, and your salmon. Now you can have the salmon in like fillets that you buy frozen. I prefer sockeye salmon, fresh caught. Depends what you get. The more it costs, the better it is actually. I'm just going to rinse it off. Cold water. And I'll grab some paper towel and just dry it off. Now, the skin is fine because once it's cooked, we're going to take it right off the skin, so we don't even have to worry about the skin. And the only thing I'm going to do here is spray the pan with a bit of olive oil so the skin doesn't stick to it. And that's it. Now, I always like to salt it, but before I salt it, I spray it with a little olive oil. And a little bit of salt, because the salt brings out the flavor. And then you put your rub, one of those rubs I sent you. Put it on, like this. And if it's in a jar, just sprinkle it on with your hands. And then basically this is the gooey part. You want to rub it in evenly. So you don't want too much, but you want it rubbed in nicely. So have a look at that. Zoom in on that. Okay, now what we're going to do is the quinoa. So it's very simple. We're going to take 2 cups of vegetable stock, 2 cups, put it in a frying pan, non-stick preferably. 1 cup of quinoa, and some vegetables of your choice. It's like that. So basically we have a frying pan full of quinoa, vegetable, and vegetable stock. So what I'm going to do here is just turn it around. Doesn't look like much now. And what we'll do is we'll start the burner, and we'll end up with a vegetable quinoa dish. Now you can spice this any way you want. What I'm going to do is add a bit of salt. That. A bit of pepper. Turn the flame on. And I'm going to bring this to a boil. And basically then, once it's boiled, I'm going to simmer it for 15 minutes. So, it's put that on there for now. The oven is hot. So now all we have to do is put the salmon in the oven. So you want to come here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the thermometer. We want the part here in the middle of the thickest part. So get a feel for it right in the middle. You don't want it pointing down so it touches the bottom. So you want it right in the middle because we're going to cook this to 131 degrees. Now the FDA says 145. I know that, but 131 is what we're going to do, and then we're going to take it out and let it rest for 5 minutes. And in the 5 minutes, it'll cook to 140. Now, the oven is a very hot oven. This wire can go in the... Oops. Gotta be careful of that. So we want to stick it in the salmon. And then this can go in the oven like that, and no wire. And then we set our timer. In mine, I set it for fish. So I set for fish. And then I go down to the taste. So I'm going to go down to 131 degrees actually. 131 Fahrenheit. That's my alarm. So when that alarm goes off, I take the fish out and then let it sit for 5 minutes. This dish here we're going to bring to a boil. Once it boils, we're just going to turn the temperature down and simmer for 15 minutes, and we're going to have vegetable quinoa dish. That's it. Less than 10 minutes. Good luck. So I keep the quinoa and vegetables at a rolling boil. So it's sort of like in my stove, it's sort of like between low and medium. It's sort of like that. And that should go for 15 minutes, so it's like 12 left. Every once in a while through the 15 minutes, I just open it up and stir it around. You can see how the quinoa coats the veggies, and you have salt and pepper on that, so that's good. Okay, so we hit the 131, and we have 2 minutes left on the quinoa, which is perfect. So we're just going to stir the quinoa. You can see what it looks like. The water is mostly absorbed, or not the water, but the vegetable stock. And so what I'm going to do is just turn the heat off on the quinoa, and we'll take the salmon out. And we'll see that we have a nice, lovely salmon here. So this can come out for now. And we're going to let this rest for 5 minutes. Okay, so now that the 5 minutes has passed, we have the salmon, 2 plates, and the veggies. So now this, you could spice it any way you want. So if, the people you're serving like spicy, you can put hot sauce in, you can put garlic sauce, you can put Thai basil sauce, you can put whatever you want. So we'll start with the fish. Now, you notice, remember the skin was on the bottom, but now it should be loose, so we can actually cut a piece, and if we use a fish, we can slide underneath the skin and take the salmon right out. And we're left with the skin there, the salmon on the plate. And then we can take some veggies with quinoa and serve them. There we have a meal. And we get another piece of salmon. There we go. Do you want more, sweetie? And some quinoa and veggies. And we should have a perfect salmon. Now, some people like sauces on their salmon, whatever. I mean, this is the rub. Put some butter on if you want, or just spray it with some olive oil or some lemon, lime. Enjoy.